Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Crocs. This was a stock analysis request from one of the followers, and I wanted to let you know that anyone can make these requests and I will most likely cover them, especially if there is an actionable trade setup to follow. Now in the case of this chart, we unfortunately have quite a mix of scenarios that could work out. So here on the larger time frame, I am mainly looking at this as a wave 1. Now that would be within a leading diagonal. It could work within a series of 1-2 setups as well. But then, yeah, here I have a wave 2 correction. So let's even label it as such. So a 1 and a 2. And this here to the upside actually has a few ways it could be tracked. Firstly, we have the possibility of looking at this as an ABC movement to the upside, and that would be part of an A wave. We would be looking for a correction in a wave B, and then, yeah, another push to the upside in a wave C. In that case, in that interpretation, I would be looking to reach within this ABC structure the ideal target of a wave 3 at around the $1,000 level, the 138.2% extension in this case. Then it is unfortunately also possible for this to also be a pretty different pattern, where we would instead have still the 1-2 setup here, something like that. Even in an AB could also work out, but then we could have here a 1-2 where we had an ABC pattern here in the wave 2, an overshoot, more uncommon but not unheard of. Yeah, it does happen at times. And then this, a third wave up, fourth wave down, where technically we could have already bottomed. We did invalidate the scenario where we would be tracking, well, not completely invalidate, but it is extremely unlikely that we can track an impulse in this movement to the upside. So we may need to develop it in this wave 4 either to the sideways or basically reset it. So yeah, in this idea of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it could work out because we do still have some room in the support zone for such a wave 4. But I have to say, if we form another low in this area and we do not build this wave 4 within a triangle, I find it unlikely in terms of proportions for this to actually work out, where this is an ABC in a wave 2, for this to be an ABC or something like this in a wave 4, where the wave 2 took around 2 years to actually form, 1.5 years, and then in this case the wave 4 has started in November 2021, so we are already 4 years in, and it could take quite a lot longer to actually complete this pattern, and makes the proportions unlikely. It makes it unlikely for this to be the case unless it actually builds indeed in a triangle pattern. Then that would be fine for it to extend for a more significant amount of time compared to the wave 2. But honestly, if we are to track something, the triangle would not be my first guess at this point, especially because I could even argue that this movement to the downside is actually in a 5-wave structure. And yeah, in that case, I would still be looking for another low to form within this general area of correction, and I would be looking at resistance up to the $137 level, which we actually broke. So yeah, those are some points for the case that we have already bottomed here and that we could be in a diagonal pattern to the upside, but nothing set in stone at the moment. We do not have any clear structure that would suggest direct continuation higher, especially not in the shorter time frame. But let's track here from the larger time frame also this idea of an ABC pattern that could still be developing, and in that case I would be looking at support here for a wave B in the area between the $49 level all the way down to the $12.3 level. We did already reach the first level of support, and yeah, it seems likely to me, to be honest, that we are going to form still one more low in this area. And based on the length of the wave A in this interpretation and of the wave B, I'm looking for an ideal target at the $41.4 level for the wave C, the 100% extension. Now keep in mind, it doesn't need to get there and it doesn't need to stop there. So yeah, we could see even more, but based on the internal structure at the moment, yeah, if I am to track here a wave C to the downside, I could argue that internally, actually the weekly looks a lot better here. So here in this area, I could see a 1, 2, maybe a third wave down, a fourth wave up, and then a fifth wave down here. So that could work out. So a 1, 2, and then another 1, 2 set up here. And depending on how this follows, it could be that we get another 1, 2 in this area. So a general zone of resistance I would be looking for, yeah, in this area is between the $86 level all the way up to the $101 level. So yeah, as long as we stay below the $101 level, I would still be looking for continuation to the downside. It could be within a diagonal structure, an initial large 1, 2 setup within the wave 3 to the downside in a wave C. But also keep in mind, this could also turn into 1, 2, 3, 4th, and the 5th. And yeah, we get a large retracement here in a 3-wave structure, and that would be our larger 1, 2 setup itself. So yeah, we don't really need to form any more lows in this area before we push into a larger correction, even in this white scenario. And this is the interpretation that I would have more confidence in, because yeah, the previous one here in the shorter time frame, yeah, it's just from like a few months, it's not very clear, the structure is very choppy. So yeah, if I'm looking for a bearish setup in this area, I would be looking at the levels between the $100 all the way up to the $139 level. Now keep in mind, you may be thinking that, wait, here we have a 1, 2, we have a 5-wave structure to the upside, and then we have another 1, 2, another 5-wave structure to the upside, another one here, but wait, we actually broke below the beginning of this 1, 2, of this supposed 1, 2. So all it could really work out as is either an ABC movement, could be a wave 1, I don't deny that, but then the likelihood of it working out, of it being a very reliable setup, is reduced in my opinion. And then it could also be a 1, 2, 1, 2, where the wave 2 again, an overshoot, does seem a little bit unlikely, not impossible, but yeah, not my preferred scenarios. If I really am looking for an entry on the long side, I would be looking at the larger support zone here. So either the first level in white to start with, or the 50% retracement here in yellow, which is around the ideal target for this movement to the downside. But now depends on the exact structure, because if we get a 1, 2 here, I would expect quite a deep third wave, and then yeah, could complete this in a WXY pattern. But it is also very likely to get another 4th, another 5th, and still push even lower afterwards. But of course, we may get a relief rally before that. And for now, really, I wouldn't focus on too much else. I suppose I can leave a count out here for the yellow interpretation that, yeah, could allow a more direct upside even from this point. And yeah, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.